My next tutorial is going to be on making a paper flower. And what I'm using is Coordination cardstock. And I'm going to make a shabby chic pink flower using the Coordination cardstock. And what I have done is I have cut out 5 paper flowers, and I've already pre-done these so that you wouldn't have to watch me do all those. And I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Ink in the brushed corduroy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my emery board and I'm going to hold the petal of the flower so that it doesn't rip off. And I'm going to run my emery board over the edges of the Coordination cardstock so that I can get the core color to look through, peek through a little bit there. And you can use any distress tool you like. I just like using the emery board. And don't worry if a little bit of it peels back like that one just did, because it's just going to add to the look of the flower. So then what I've done, let me brush off my work surface area here. Then what I've done is, after I've distressed the edges of all these, and I hope that you can see where I've distressed that, the edges of those with my emery board. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dauber and I'm going to daub it into that ink. And I'm just going to take and run it along the edges of the petals of my flower. And I'm not going to be real neat about this. And I'm only doing the edges because that's really all that's going to show. And if some gets on the petal like that, that doesn't matter either. And look, I just broke that flower. And that's going to be okay too. Don't worry about it if little stuff like that happens. I've got all of my edges inked now. And I've done that on all the flowers. I've done this in 2 different colors. I've got a darker pink for the lower petals and a lighter pink for the top petals. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay aside everything except what I'm going to work on next. And I've got a mouse pad, and you're going to have to excuse my mouse pad. It's nasty. It's been glued on and sanded on and everything. I use it for all kinds of things. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to curl my petals up, and I'm using the end of a paintbrush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that paintbrush, and I'm just going to press it into my flower, like so, until it curls with the desired effect. You know, keep pushing, and you can, if you're using a smaller flower, you can use a smaller paintbrush. I've used the end of a wooden spoon work, and I should have done these off camera too, so you wouldn't have to watch me curl all these. But that's okay. It'll give you a good idea of how long it takes. It really doesn't take very long. And once I've got those curled, I'm going to flip it upside down, take my paintbrush, and mash it in the middle. And now I'm going to set that one aside, and I'm going to do the next. As I said, I've used the end of a wooden spoon. If you're working with a smaller flower, you can use the end of a smaller tip paintbrush. But I just want to get these nice and curled up. Once they're curled, the paper holds really pretty well. You could do this with a white cardstock so that it could be glimmer misted if you wanted to. I'm doing it this way because I kind of want to get that shabby chic look. Hope I'm working on camera this whole time. Okay. Oops, there the center came out, and that's fine too. Okay. I'm going to do this with my smaller flowers. And I'm not going to have to work as hard to do that, because these are heart shaped, so I'm basically just going to go right in the center of that heart and give my petal a good push. Right there, and then in the middle. There, and in the middle. There, and in the middle, and then I'm going to flip it over and press. And I'm going to do that with these other two. There, and in the middle, there, in the middle, there, in the middle, there. Okay, and I'm just about done with my last petal. And the center of these has a hole in it, and that's fine. Okay. Be sure and do your petals, bend your paper. When you're doing this flower, bend it upside down, because otherwise your pattern is going to wind up on the wrong side of the flower, especially if you're using a pattern paper. You really need a cardstock for this. Thinner paper is just not really going to be the trick. Okay. Now I've got all my flowers done. Move that out of the way. Move the paintbrush out of the way. So that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, and I'm going to go around the inner perimeter of my flower. I'm going to alternate my petals, and I'm going to glue. And this glue is going to dry clear, so it's not going to matter if some of it gets a little bit or whatever. Okay, and then the next one is going to be one of my smaller petals. And this is the one that I ripped, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue just right around where I ripped it at. And again, I'm going to alternate petals. And I'm just going to press. It's a little tricky. Okay, I'm just going to press. Called Quick Dry adhesive because it really does dry pretty quickly. Press, and a little bit more glue, and alternate my petals. Press. Press that petal down. And now I'm going to use for my center, I like to look at these pearls against this pink. So I'm going to lay down a pearl center. I'm gonna go ahead and flay it. I'm going to. I'll unflay it when I get ready to package these, but for right now I'm gonna go ahead and flay it, because what I want to do is that I want to kind of just play with my flower a little bit and fluff up parts of it. And I just think that the two colors gives it a little bit of extra dimension. Alright. And there you have it. there is my paper flower tutorial using coordination. If you guys have any questions at all, or haven't been clear on one of these steps, if you would, just give me a quick email and I'll be happy to answer. And I hope you enjoyed my paper flower tutorial. Thanks for watching.